A big hello to you. So great to see you and I hope I find you well. Welcome back to the garden. I'm Jenny Kirk and today we're going to be taking a look at the progress on the O-Gauge garden railway build. In today's video, well, we're going to be doing a lot more bricklaying and concrete laying. It's going to be the final push to get most of that track bed in and up and running. So you'll be seeing me doing a bit of bricklaying, a lot of mixing of concrete, and it's a lot of hands-on stuff. That's what I love about a garden railway. But we've had a couple of weeks of lots and lots of rain and a lot of sunshine as well, and as you can see the garden's getting a bit frisky, so might want to give that a trim as well. But come with me in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support comes from...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
But I'm really quite excited. It's the last big push on the build before we're going to eventually be able to start laying track, and that's where it starts to come together as a garden railway. So let's get down and dirty, let's get mixing some cement, some concrete and get the building trowel ready because we're going to be getting some bricks down. Let's get to it. The small LGB bridge you've already seen, but I've also repainted and restored the Meccano bridge using the same colour scheme, although I did spray it up with a quick coat of Hammerite rust protection where the rust was showing through, and then an entire rattle can of yellow acrylic paint just to give some great coverage and protect the underside too, and then just topped it off with that emerald green and that matte natural wood for the deck, even though this one is clearly steel and it probably will mostly get covered with ballast. But it's just now time to take them out to the garden and see about installing them permanently in place. We've had nothing but rain today, but the weather has cleared up, so I'm going to try and get the bridges in place. So I've got my tools, trusty Black & Decker, and just going to get on with it. Well, as you can see, it really came together well. The Meccano bridge, actually, a lot of people said online that that was going to be a really difficult prospect to reinvigorate. It's certainly gone through 2 previous garden railways and was looking pretty tired for itself as well. But with the aid of some metal protective work, it seems to have turned out okay. The paint coverage is not as good as it could have been, but I'm quite happy with that. The main prospect on this is to just stop it from rusting, and with weathering it out here in the garden, I think it is going to tone down over time, and certainly outdoors is brilliant for that. Natural weathering, you just can't get more realistic than that. But I'm quite happy, got it in. We've screwed it in with some raw plugs and some metal screws. I've done the same for the plastic bridge, and that's actually quite easy to do, just using the drill on the hammer setting. That is important with a proper masonry drill bit, and it's just a case of being methodical. Measure twice, drill once. Top tip for you there. Didn't quite follow that on one of the holes. It's very easy for the drill bit to just move slightly out of line, but I got there in the end. They're good and secure, and once we get the track over here, it's going to be a very photogenic area on the garden railway, and that's obviously very, very important. This area, the extension of the brickwork that we were doing last episode, is really starting to come together. Now, my bricklaying is not the greatest. I always joke with people that I lay bricks like a drunk bricklayer in an earthquake. But for me, actually, the most important thing, I guess, is just cleaning the faces of the bricks off as you go. And once all the cement's in, they can look very, very messy. And I just use a brush with some water and make sure the faces of the bricks are clean, and you can smooth off a lot of the cement in the same process, and that goes a long way. I used a grit sand on this, and this allowed me to shape the cement on the top. I've checked the levels with the spirit level and the piece of wood, and so far they're all going great. My next datum point is going to be that one up there, because that's just a little bit on the short side, but I will leave it in because it will help the concrete to bond to the layer underneath. And I'm going to put a little piece of wood in just to protect that plant and push it out of the way, and it's just concrete from here on in. Got the concrete all mixed up, and I'll tell you what, you don't need gym membership, that is one hell of a workout. Concrete's laid, bricks are cleaned, it's just starting to come on to rain, so I've timed it just right, and that's where I'm going to be leaving the construction for this episode. But with some really careful work, we've got a fairly level track bed now, which ties back into what we've already built and extends right round to the section that I built at the back. I'm going to be encouraging vegetation, lichens, mosses onto here, and that's something for a future video. So whilst it does look quite stark at the moment, it will weather down. As the original base of the garden railway was rising up, it's become impossible to keep laying the bricks. So at this point they peter out. I got a good mortar layer on top, which is going to provide a great track bed that we can fix the track to. More about that in another future episode. From this point onwards, it's down to mixing concrete, and what I've done is I've used a 10mm gravel to really just make sure that not only do we have a good strong concrete mix, but because we've got the original road bed rising up, I wanted to make sure that we're not going to get hung up somewhere at the top with very large rock sizes in the mix, and it just helps to blend the two together. Mixing concrete is quite arduous, and certainly I got an amazing workout doing that. But the most important thing in all of this is making sure the levels are correct. I used screws in the original rail fixing roll plugs in the original road bed. I used a piece of wood between those and a spirit level so that I knew where the top of the new concrete needed to be. So when I was laying the concrete, it was really important to get it smooth and to get it level. And looking at the end result, I've pretty much got that done, and that is really important for making sure that the trains run reliably, because trains don't like wobbles, they don't like twists. That just leads to derailments, and the gradients mean that they'll just stall out, and I don't want that. I want to make sure that the track is laid as smoothly as possible this time, because this is going to be a garden railway that I shouldn't need to revisit in the future to put right what I've messed up. And that's given us the position now where next time we're going to start laying the track, and I think you'll agree it's really going to come together. And we're going to use that Bluetooth control as well eventually, don't forget that, and it'll be really amazing when we get the first trains running. But I think we've laid the groundwork pretty well for that. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments section down below. Let me know how your garden railway build is coming along, or maybe you're taking away some great ideas from this build as to what you could do in the future. It's brilliant, as always, to hear from you in the comments. And don't forget that you can also head on over to Patreon and help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see, or you could become a channel member as well. And please like, share, subscribe, check out the merch store, and until next time, take care and happy garden railway modelling. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.